We decided that we're going to remove the shrinkage on pitches down and away for online competitive gameplay. Remove the shrinkage on pitches down and away. Remove the shrinkage on pitches down and away.
Man, we are just getting at a point in the year where I am just ecstatic about MLB The Show. Got launched in 2 days, and honestly, a couple of things they mentioned in the stream the other day that got me really excited for the game. As you could tell by the intro, one thing that I think is awesome that they, like about a month ago, they said they weren't changing anything when they did the gameplay review feature. And now they're reverting it, which is an amazing change. I'm finally glad they're listening to the community. They're getting rid of PCI shrinkage on down and away sliders for same handed hitters. Thank God. Switch hitter meta is officially over. Hopefully, righty righty and lefty lefty matchups will be a little bit more balanced. So I think that is great news. So really excited for that. And honestly, just some of the content that they brought out in the stream has me really excited. I'm really excited about the new parallel system. I'll get a little bit more into that later. But yeah, let's just start off with what looks like to be the collection reward, or at least the NL collection reward. This Albert Pujols card looks great. I love the new attribute screen. As you can see, has the contact power fielding section, the speed arm, and other section. I really like how the fielding is this year, the directional reaction jump. We'll see how that plays out. I'm really intrigued to see how that plays out and what cards are going to have interesting splits and how that affects the overall. But I like how they group together the contact, vision, and clutch in a category. As you can see, as Pujols has 108 contact, 102 power. He's got 104 versus righties, 101 versus lefties. His fielding looks really, really good. And I believe I remember seeing he plays first base, third base, left field, and right field. So it looks like we are getting those secondary positions back, as you can see in the top right there, those secondaries. Looks like we are getting secondary positions back, which is I also think is a great change, as we really didn't have secondary positions last year, and it really limited what you could do. But Pujols looks really, really nice off the bat, so pretty excited about that, to be honest with you. We also get a new legend, Troy Tulowitzki. He was really, really good back, when I was in my middle school, elementary school, back in the late 2000s. He was insane. Kind of sad how his career went. Definitely a lot of untapped potential there. But Troy Tulowitzki in his prime was an absolute dog. And then also, I'm excited for the World Baseball Classic. I'm excited for the mini seasons. Why I'm excited for the mini seasons, as we're finally getting to tweak it a little bit. I'm excited for the format of the World Baseball Classic, being able to kind of relive that as whatever country you want to represent. If you want to take over the USA spot, you can. For me, I think it'd be really cool to take over like the Czech Republic or whatever, be those electricians, play Japan. That would be really cool in my opinion. As you can see here, we got a few players that we got revealed. We got Kazuma Okamoto. Apologies if I botch any of those names. So 88 overall, right off the rip, looks really good. I don't think they said how we'd get this card. I'm assuming it's either gonna excuse me. I think it's either going to be in packs or it could be a potential mini seasons reward. We also got Munetaka Murakami, MLB The Show 23. He was a dog. I think MLB The Show 23 was the first year they got rid of that power creep. So he was like a high 90s overall on launch day. And he was just an absolute menace to play against. And he was awesome to play with. So I'm very excited to use this card again. I'm assuming he might be like a World Baseball Classic collection reward. So it might be a little bit behind a paywall, yet to be determined, but this is a card a lot of people are going to be very excited about, including me. And then going back into more of the content that they released, we have the Jolt series coming back. I believe they said this is going to be from Team Affinity, and it has the captain attributes as well. We got a Jim Thome, 91 overall. I'm assuming 91 overall. It might be a little bit harder to get on launch day. This might be someone you have to grind a few weeks for, but really good contact stats, 94 versus right, 83 versus left. He's got 61 vision, which isn't great, but he's got a decent clutch rating. And of course, Jim Thome, there's going to be power, 108 versus righties, 82 versus lefties. Pretty good there. First baseman for you, so he's not going to have the best fielding or speed, but really when you're talking about first baseman, all you want is a bat. So looks like he's going to have a pretty strong bat. So I want to kind of move on into the parallel system now. This, I think I'm more excited for this than most other people are. Me personally, I think this is a great innovation, a great change to the show. This is going to make me use more players that I normally wouldn't use before. Like for me, I'm a Cubs fan. I really always like using Nico Horner, and I always try to parallel 5 Nico Horner to be able to pour a lot of parallel XP into his power to maybe make him a little bit more viable for online gameplay is going to be really, really cool. And, there are guys, maybe like Jim Tomey, who we just went over. He has great power, maybe not the best contact, and he's not the greatest example of this, but like it'd be really cool to be able to add some contact to him to make his bat a little bit more viable. Picture if we had this with maybe Joey Gallo like 5 years ago when he had all those insane cards, and you can just juice his contact up to like 12 attribute stats. I think that would be really cool. But you could see, I don't know exactly what they changed to the PXP, but you get a little bit more when you play online with those online multipliers, it looks like. So that's pretty cool. And then I want to jump into the online a little bit, I want to jump into those parallel attributes a little bit more. Also, World Baseball Classic, Travis Bazzana, forgot to mention him. I think he'll also be some sort of collection reward. Some of these guys could also be in Diamond Quest too. That's one thing that MLB The Show 25, I really like the changes that they made there. Diamond Quest was awesome. Gave some really good content, some really good gameplay experience. But anyways, yeah, let's talk about that parallel attribute ratings that I just mentioned. So, like I said, in my opinion, this is a great innovation they did. And if you don't like it, that's fine. Like they mentioned in the stream, you don't have to do these at all. If you want to get to parallel 5 and have +5 attributes for anything, you are more than welcome to do so, which I also think is a good change. You don't have to force anybody to take this extra step into doing this, because I feel like if you have a full team of parallel players and you're constantly upgrading players, it could be a little bit tedious to go through every single player and choose, what attributes you want to change with them. But anyways, so I believe they said for hitters, there's like 30 something badges that you can use, and for the pitchers, there's like 20 something. For the hitters, at least, I kind of found this fascinating. Silver, it looks like you can go contact, power, fielding, speed, and you just get a baseline boost for that stat, and that maybe not necessarily that stat only, but you don't get the secondary boost that you do when you get to those gold and diamond badges. So like I said, the silver, you're getting either a contact boost, you're getting a power boost, you're getting a fielding boost, or you're getting a speed boost. Then you move up to that gold tier, and the gold tier is where it starts to get a little bit interesting because you get the primary badge depending on what category you're under. So in this screenshot here, we are under the contact one. So you can choose gold, and you can go with contact, which will give you a significant boost to your contact rating. You can and then you can go primary contact, secondary power, which would be that second one there, where you're getting that good contact boost, but you're getting a few power or a few attribute points to that power rating. And then you also have the secondary of fielding, secondary of speed. So I think that's really interesting. So like I said, I'll use the example again, Joey Gallo. Maybe he's already got 110 power versus righties. So maybe if I were to get him to parallel 3 and unlock these gold badges, I could do the primary for contact and secondary for speed, or I can do double up on contact. Or maybe I'm playing on all-star a lot, I don't really have an issue hitting the ball with him, maybe I can double down on fielding. Or if I'm sticking him in the outfield, maybe I can double down on speed. So I think that's pretty cool. You kind of have the flexibility to do what you want there. The only thing they didn't really mention is how much attribute points you're getting from that. If you look from the screenshot here, James Wood live series, they have him at the diamond contact boost. They have that hovered over. Also, in order to get that, you have to get the 10,000 PXP points, which normally you'd have to do to get P5 anyway. I think that's up from 8,000, but they said you'd be able to earn it a little bit quicker. And you also have to get 40 hits. I'm assuming this is all throughout offline and online game modes. So if you're grinding online, you're going to have to rack up those hits with James Wood in order to get those diamond badges. But if you look at the screenshot here, it looks like, in my guesstimation, he's getting about 7 or 8 points towards each of those contact versus left and contact versus right. It looks like he's maybe getting 2 or 3 attribute points towards power. He's getting a good, 5 or 6 attribute points towards clutch. And the speed goes up just a hair. Also, the speed and vision are up as well. So I think that's pretty cool to look at. And I believe they said those green bars are the ones that primarily go up with that specific attribute. And the yellow bars are the ones that go towards like that second attribute gain. So you can tell by that screenshot there, got to get that PXP, and you also have a mission, which I think is pretty cool as well. So you can't just like, I don't know, cheese it in some way, or if you're underperforming it, you can't necessarily get those badges, or I'm sorry, get that, parallel attribute boost like you would in the past. So I think that's really cool innovations. I'm excited for all the legends they brought back. Pujols, you know, um, Dustin Pedroia is back in the game. Troy Tulowitzki is back in the game. I don't remember if Andrew Jones was in the game. I want to say he was a few years ago, but I really don't remember. I feel like I've been playing MLB The Show for like 12 years now, so I feel like I'm always forgetting and remembering what legend was what year. I feel like I'm not a diehard enough of the game to remember what year each thing kind of happened. But I'm gonna wrap things up from there. MLB The Show 26, very, very excited. I think hopefully this is going to be a good year for the game. I love the customization they're bringing into it. I think PCI sensitivity is going to be a game changer. That's just my opinion. I think I'm going to lower the sensitivity just a hair when that game first comes out, and we'll see if I like it or not. But anyways, that's going to do it for me. Hopefully I can stick with the content this year, start making some content. I know last year I kind of got busy with some life stuff. I stopped playing the game after like June, but sometimes that happens. But anyway, see you guys.